So give me 2 minutes.
Submission something.
One second. Just some figures which are handy, and that might answer. I'm obliged to your lordship's question. It's a very pertinent question. We examine the pattern of 100 top ranking students, those who were in the first 100. The analysis comes that they were distributed amongst 95 centers in 56 cities in 18 states or union territories.
The
Top 100.
The top 100.
They are found that they appeared in 95 centers located in 56 cities, which are spread out in 18 states or union territories.
एनटीए बहुत कंफ्यूज लग रहा है.
And my lord, yeah, one second.
Now, page 86 of my reply, page 37 is the evidence.
One more thing which we want to know now is that how many FIRs matters been handed over to CBI for investigation?
I'll just tell you.
Totally, how many FIRs have been registered?
One FIR was paper leak in Patna. The rest, my lord, are FIRs for some local malpractice, my lord.
How many totally FIRs have been registered?
According to them, 6, my lord. Our knowledge is not 6, my lord.
Can you give us tomorrow, maybe
or day after, my lord, a day more, my lord. But we'll be able to.
Just 1 second.
I may tell you.
Second, we want to know, now, one thing is very clear, that the leak has taken place.
Yes, in one center.
No, whether one center, that's what we have to decide.
We will have to.
The fact that the sanctity of the examination is now compromised is beyond doubt.
Correct.
That there has been a leak.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Now, question is, Mr. Solicitor, how widespread is that breach?
Patna also, the paper leak is not an admitted fact. But my learned friend relied upon that press note kind of a thing.
No, it is an admitted fact. But can we deny the fact that a leak of question papers took place?
No. Yes, but the complete cover-up, it is admitted. Bihar police, on that very day on which some news reporting came, which my learned friend, Mr. Huda read, we issued this press that this is false. This is not our briefing to the media.
No, but is the case of NTA today that there is no leak?
Leak is admitted.
The fact is admitted and Mr. Solicitor, Mr. Kaushik, we take it that it's an admitted fact that there is a leak. There is no question about it. But, the nature of the leak is what we are determining.
Yes.
Therefore, we are asking question. The fact that there was a leakage of question papers cannot be disputed. Now, what is the consequence of that leak would depend upon the extensive nature of that leak. If it was not extended leak or uncontained, I'll tell you one thing. You don't cancel a whole examination merely because 2 students have committed a malpractice. Likewise, assuming that there is a leak, we don't live in an ideal world. There should be no leak. But before we decide to order a retest, we must be careful about what is the nature of that leak, because we are conscious of the fact that we are dealing with the careers of 23 lakhs.
Absolutely right.
Asking 23 lakh students to reappear for an examination, together with the preparation, cost, travel, and dislocation of admission schedules.
Unfortunately, there is no other choice. Unfortunately, there is no other choice. Paper has been leaked.
Now, therefore, we want to know this. Therefore, we would like to know first the entire process which takes place.
Sir.
To what is the nature of the FIRs which have come forth? How was the leak? What is the point of time at which the leak took place? How was the leak disseminated? These are important questions. And next, very important, what are the actions which the government of India and NTA have taken to identify the wrongdoing students or the beneficiaries of the wrongdoing?
Correct.
Now,
But now, I give an example. I'll just give an example.
Teacher for someone who has come first.
I'd like to make this, I'd like to make submission.
Sir, I don't know.
I'm in 31.9 by lot.
एनडीए यहाँ पर भी कह रहे हैं कि पेपर लीक तो नहीं हुआ था, लेकिन उनके एफिडेविट में बोला गया कि हुआ है बहुत ही कम रेडियस में। देखो, मैंने भी आपको बहुत बड़ी वीडियोस में यही बात बोली थी कि पेपर लीक कंफर्म है, लेकिन रीनीट होगा या नहीं होगा वो डिपेंड करता है कि उसका रेडिएशन कितना ज्यादा है, वो कितने लोग तक पहुंचा है। अगर ये प्रूफ होता है कि व्हाट्सएप वाला जो पेपर लीक था वो ज्यादा लोग तक पहुंचा है, तो फिर रीनीट का चांसेस बढ़ जाता है। अब होगा क्या, मैं आपको बताता हूँ, क्या एक डेट दिया जाएगा इसी वीक में 4-5 दिन के बाद कि आप जितने भी क्वेश्चन आप उसका आंसर दीजिए। यही होने वाला है अभी आपका अल्टीमेटली, क्योंकि कोर्ट ने भी एक्सेप्ट कर लिया कि पेपर लीक हुआ है। अब पेपर 4 तारीख मतलब 5 तारीख को अगर पेपर हुआ, तो क्या पेपर 4 तारीख को लीक हुआ है या 5 तारीख के सुबह को लीक हुआ है? तो वो ड्यूरेशन चेक करना और रेडिएशन चेक करना है। अब लेट्स से क्या लगता है जी। और यहाँ पे एनटीए भाई किसी क्वेश्चन का वैलिड आंसर दे ही नहीं पा रहा है। ओके, उनके कि ये वकील साहब है, वो तो कुछ भी हो रहा है पीछे।
No, we have understood your lordship's question. No, they are very pertinent question, and that would ultimately lead. But I'll just give an
One second, Mr. Solicitor, we also want to know what are the steps which have been taken by the NTA and by the government to identify the beneficiaries of the leaks, because that we have to be ruthless on identifying the beneficiaries.
We also have to be ruthless,
Right? Because anybody who has breached the examination is not entitled to be there as a successful student.
Those who are identified, the results are there. But you mean an example?
How many, we want to know how many have been identified.
Yes, yes.
But more than how many have been identified, we want to know what was the course of action which was taken by the government.
No, kindly allow me to give an example. But for the time being, leave Bihar. I'll not call the police also. I'll not take instructions. Take for example, Godhra. Godhra incident, it passes on as a paper leak case. It's not a paper leak case. What happened was, there was one superintendent of one particular center called Jai Jalaram School. His name is Tushar Bhatt. But he arranged with certain students that he didn't have the paper. But he said that whatever answers you can confidently answer, you give the answers. These are multiple choice questions with negative marking. And therefore, I would have a window of 3 hours before, after I take your papers back, and I seal it and send it to the concerned authority. Fortunately, the authorities, the district magistrate came to know about this, followed it must have percolated from somewhere. Therefore, the moment examination started, the entire district administration and entire police administration was there. The papers after the examination were taken in their custody, sealed in their presence and sent, and that man was arrested. Now, from his mobile, there were several video chats which were found. And we could identify that these were the people with whom he was in touch. So those identified students, their papers are, their results are with him. And they are issued show cause notices. Why should they not be?
So we want to know totally.
We are not concerned about Godhra, but we are concerned about Patna. Patna is leakage. Godhra, we are not complaining. I am only about paper leakage, Patna. Nothing else. All others are minor issues. All are minor issues. Nobody will ask for a cancel of the examination. Nobody concerned about the paper leak.
Overall in the entire country, how many students whose results have been withheld owing to what we are discussing today? Individual, one student cheating from another student, we are not bothered about that.
Absolutely.
That the law will take its own course.
Yes.
How many students are there whose results have been withheld as a result of the systemic, so we won't say systemic, as a result of the leakage which
Patna leakage.
So, and where are those students located? You want to see the geographical distribution of those students. Are they in one state? Are they in multiple states? Where are they situated? And third, now one more thing which we'd like to also dwell on is the following justice, the order passed by the bench presided over by Honorable Justice Vikramnath in the vacation, 1563 students, there was a retest. That was held on the 23rd of June or 21st of June. 23rd of June.
It has been.
Last Sunday, 4 years.
Now, one second. Just tell us for this examination now. Are we still in the process of identifying the the wrongdoers in terms of the students? We're not talking of those who are perpetrators, but beneficiaries. Have we been able to completely identify the students who are the beneficiaries, or is that process still ongoing?
Answer is
No
For
effort.
instance, one second. For instance, look, if we have no go, we'll have to cancel the exam.
There has been no
but
effort
I'll tell you
whatsoever on that side.
As a court,
Yes.
this cancellation of a test of this nature, 24 lakh students,
completely agree.
is a matter of extreme last. Because it may be, this.
The lordship is absolutely right.
It may be, and therefore we are asking questions about what is the time at which the leakage took place. So that will give us an idea of what was the opportunity for dissemination.
Every person.
What the modality for.
Very pertinent.
Now,
My lord, there are 56. Quick answer if you're not
just one second. Mr. Solicitor, one second. Sir. Just one second.
Everything by day after.
Day after. 1 second, one more thing I wanted to ask you is that with the kind of technology which we have today at our disposal, and the government of India has its cyber forensic unit, is it not possible for us to run through the use of experts to bring some sense of confidence to the process? That you carry out a detailed data analytics exercise to see if there are suspicious markers. Now, we have to identify what the suspicious markers are. All right. So I just want to say one thing. Let us not be in absolute, right? Because, self-denial is only adding to the problems, because now everybody knows there was a leak. So we have 2 or 3 things. We have to see what happened for this exam, what we do in the ongoing process for the conclusion of this year's admission, and finally, which is the third aspect of the matter which we'll answer, what do we do to ensure that the leak does not take place again in the future? Or what are the steps we are taking to ensure that the dissemination in the future does not result in the leaks that we have encountered? On the last aspect, subject to hearing you, there should be a sort of a multidisciplinary committee consisting of the best experts, not necessarily only from the government, but people who have very wide experience and who are respected across the country. Because today we are dealing, I don't have to emphasize it, we are dealing with the most prestigious of educational admissions. And every middle class parent, middle class parents aspire their children to go to medicine or engineering, or now. What are we doing to ensure that that this will not happen in future, and how are we planning to tighten the examinations process? Is there an audit being conducted by the government on what went wrong in the NTA? That's one aspect. What do we do? There's a third aspect. Second aspect, assuming that we are not going to cancel the entire exam, what do we do between today and the date of admissions to identify those who are beneficiaries of the fraud? And the first aspect, do we cancel the exam, or do we allow the counseling to go through by identifying the beneficiaries? And on the first aspect, we'd like to know from the government, what have you done so far to identify those who are beneficiaries of the...
I can assure your lordships one thing. But we are not adversary.
Report to the report to the CBI and partner police. That is most important. Report to the CBI and the partner police.
Mr. Solicitor, they have, one second. From what they are trying to emphasize, we find that they place a great deal of emphasis on the fact that in the 20, 21, 22, 23, you had 1 + 3 + 1 + 2, that is 4 and 1, 5 and 2, 7 students who got 720 out of 720 in 4 years. This year, we have 67 67 who get 720.
Which my lord, 600.
One second.
We have an answer with statistics.
No, I have one more question. One second. What is the percentile distribution in this exam across categories, not just 720 out of
Few centers.
No. The distribution of marks, is it skewed at the top? In the last year, suppose how many were in the bottom third percentile, in the middle third percentile, in the top third percentile? This year, in the sense that will give us an indicator, was the pattern, was it a paper leak? Was the examination pattern comparatively easier as opposed to the previous year?
We have, not correct, we have done the analysis, we'll place it on chart.
So like to put some other aspects of
The
it.
chart I have given that answer my lord's query.
To make a small submission.
Last page of another page note, the chart I have given that satisfies my lord's query. The marks, my lord, I have compared, given that table. My lord, somebody in 2022 who obtained 700 marks. My lord, may I kindly see this table for a moment? That will throw light on my lord's query.
222, somebody who obtained 700 marks.
Yes, in 2022, his rank was 94.
Right.
In 23, somebody 700, his rank was 247. Then somebody has 700 in 2024, his rank is 2250.
He goes down.
It goes down because there's so many rise.
My lord, also there is another aspect.
Another question.
Also there is another aspect.
1 second. How many students appeared in 2004?
Same now. See, that table is showing it. Table is showing it, my lord. The 56 students that are before, lord, total number of all of them are stoppers. My lord, kindly see the difference.
My lord, also,
Hold on.
my lord, also there is another aspect to it.
एंटी वाले बैठ गए हैं, ठीक है, इतनी तारीख दे दीजिए, हम
Very
पहुंच जाएंगे
linear
अपना
fashion.
पेपर ले।
My lord, there is another aspect to it. In fact, NT has published several answer keys. My lords, I'd like to point
जस्टिस भी शॉक में आ गया, चीफ सीजीआई 2000 रैंक ऐसे कैसे बढ़
my
सकता
lords,
है?
I'd like to
आप लोगों को क्या लग रहा है, क्या होना चाहिए जिस हिसाब से डिस्कशन आगे फॉरवर्ड हो रही है? What is your point of view on this, guys? एक बारी बताना, एक बारी कमेंट के अंदर।
my lords, I'd also like to point out some.
Lord, may I say something? Only one of the 56.
May I be able to
Is a
may I make a small submission, my lord?
Rest all of them have been meritorious, have scored highest mark in class 10 and 12. In so far as Gujarat is concerned, in these 56 people that have come before my lord. So this is a case where all of us are facing tremendous mental agony because of this.
That's all right. Now we can leave aside the emotions. You can trust us.
I am saying that out of
What we want to know, Mr. Solicitor, what we want to know is this. We will have these, we'll have these anecdotal, charts like this which are given to us. Please take instructions from the government. Can we not run this through a data analytics program to the cyber forensic unit? You can contact, if the government has that in the Ministry of Home Affairs, so much the better. If you don't have it, you can ask any of our top service providers to find out, because we have to identify whether the skewing of marks is so systemic that the whole examination is affected, or is it possible to identify people who are wrongdoers or likely wrongdoers, in which case a retest can be held for those students only.
I have not answered.
I'd like to make a small submission.
But I can assure your lordship
का direction दिया गया है।
But we are not adversarial to the petitioners either way. The petitioners who have an apprehension of an all India problem, or petitioners 23 lakhs in number plus, who are, my lord, feeling insecure because they may have to face, my lord, another examination. But we are concerned about both the sets, and we will assist your lordships, my lord, dispassionately. My lord, and whatever your lordships have suggested, my lord, I think the solution lies somewhere else. There only.
One second, what we'd like, as far as the petitioners are concerned, all lawyers for the petitioners, we take it up on Wednesday. We'll give them a day's time. So solicitor also wanted 1 day's time. We'll give you a day's time to put your things together. We want all the lawyers for the petitioners who are asking for a retest, to sit together between now and Wednesday and give us one set of submission. And we can't have people, 100 lawyers arguing before us on 100 different grounds. We want you to all sit down. We'll appoint one nodal counsel, as we do in the CB matters.
That's right.
You give us one consolidated submission, say not exceeding 10 pages. We don't mind. It shouldn't exceed 10 pages. While you're pressing for a retest.
Correct.
All right.
All likewise rely on for that purpose.
Likewise, we'll do this. We will ask the government to circulate a comprehensive list of dates and a response to what we have raised.
In the meantime, first this CBI can be directed, because everything is with CBI. NTA, as we have seen in the reply, they say we do not know whether it was systemic or not. Here, sometimes they completely deny there is no thing. So let the CBI file a status report before this honorable court in all 6 FIRs that will place the picture that in which direction the investigation is going.
Not all 6.
Filtration in between. Let
Only
the
Partha is enough.
CBI submit a status report.
You are
Let me
appearing,
take instructions
you
from.
are appearing for the CBI also, Mr.
Let the CBI file a status report.
Why don't you do this? Ask the CBI to file a status report.
On Patna. That's where the leak has occurred. All the rest of our minor issues.
On its investigation, whether it is systemic or whether it is not. More suggestion, if you would may kindly consider it.
Lord, I'd like to make a small
रीनीट के
submission, my
chances
lord.
बढ़ रहे हैं
Here, also the end.
But there is one more suggestion, if you would may kindly consider that. But in the meantime,
So the order dictate करे क्या भी?
देखिए फिर वही बात पर आके सभी लोग हो रहे हैं कि वेडनेसडे को अभी मतलब कल नहीं परसों पूरे पिटीशन की तरफ से एक कोई वकील आएगा और परसों चीजों को फाइनल करना है
My lord,
Let me only one request.
submission, my lord.
I'll not call for the record from the CBI also, because something may not be public, how to place it before your lordships, etc.
they know.
But my lord, can I request, my lord, this is our joint request, that we file everything as suggested by your lordships by Wednesday, and matter can be heard on Thursday. So we are not, my lord, nobody
Investigating officer filed an affidavit. my lord.
is taken by surprise that what is the document. We'll prepare it today, file it by day after, and we can have.
Not that filtration which happens in between. But the investigating officer is the best person.
No, I'm not on CBI, on overall.
And so Wednesday, he's saying take it up on Thursday.
Thursday,
Wednesday they will, so you will get 24 hours to
Yes, sir.
study what they are saying.
And Lord, in the meantime, if Lord may just consider one more aspect. That's the entire result of 23 lakh odd people be declared on their website. They have not declared that result. We will also analyze the data because they declared the result of 100 people. We could see that 6 people who secured rank 1 are from the same center.
It is declared.
No, we will be able to see.
Lord, let us also assist.
They are not comprehensively published.
It is declared on the website.
Lord, I'd like to make a small submission.
You made your point. Let's hear Mr.
Same center, the student got the same marks 720 and 726 of shift. One center of shift.
From the same center.
720, 720.
Yes.
How is it possible, Lordship? This is my question is that.
One center in higher.
Lordship, my second question is all our sheets are different and result is a different, Lordship. How is it possible,
My
Lordship?
lord, this is a situation here.
In the entire result, one will analyze the data which are on the resources.
Answer keys for the same OMR scheme.
Also permitted to upload above.
For multiple answer keys for one single question.
issuing the
It
notification.
has been published by the NTA on its website.
NTA opened up on the 8th of April for enlisting students, my lords, on a 24-hour window on the 9th and the 10th of April, my lords.
And change of answer also. They have changed the answer also.
Now, this is very
They've changed the answer.
Lordship, my second, and then the second question that why the NTA has declared
Yes.
the result the 4th June, my lord.
My lord, there
That
are
is the
some
question, the already, my lord,
clear answer keys for the same set of question paper. How can NTA publish that? NTA also should be investigated.
Students are there, how many total?
1,10,000, 1,10,000 approximately.
One next, there
Of
are
which
also
50% is government, 1,00,000 plus.
How many,
1,08,000 something is the exact figure. 56,000 is the government seat. The entire Bangladesh is on the government, so that they can go to private. And your lordship, one more data, what my lordship.
my lord, I'd like to make a small submission, my lord.
My lordship, it's my humble request.
On VC,
The data which is come out, so it will be important that this please come out with
My lord, all spice-
sheet status.
my lord, on VC, I may be allowed to make a small submission of 30
The
seconds.
portal which is opened on the 9th of,
9 April.
sir, my lordship, the portal is opened on 9th April 2024. It's my humble request, please give the clear data to find out so that we can.
My lords, why the window was open on 8th and 9th? What is the reason?
Yes, sir. Only two
And
days.
what was the result? Because this is the only difference.
My lord,
They have identified 1,506.
The candidate who are appealing.
we've done something and we'll now place it on Thursday. We'll just give some direction to the matter, so we'll be able to focus on what we wanted.
Why matter? What is the issue?
Yes, we hear you, we're not going to be.
So that we can solve.
On 9 February 2024, the National Testing Agency, into brackets NTA, issued an online application form for the National Eligibility cum Entrance Test, into brackets NEET UG, bracket 2024. Full stop. NTA conducted the NEET UG examination on 5 May 2024. Full stop. Results were declared on 4th June 2024. Next. On 5 May 2024, from the material which has emerged on the record at the present stage, it appears that on 5 May 2024, a first information report bearing FIR number 358/2024 was lodged at PS Shastri Nagar, Patna, alleging a leak in the NEET UG 2024 question papers, implicating offences under sections 407, 408, and 409, read with section 120B of the Penal Code. Full stop. On 23 June 2024, the Economic Offences Unit of Bihar Police issued a press release noting that in connection with the above FIR, 13 persons including candidates and members of, and into inverted commas, members of the organized gang of examination leak.
Sorry, I should not interrupt. This is what I gave to the lordships. This is not true. That is what the Bihar police on that very day clarified.
Where is that clarity?
I had just given.
No, my friend is wrong.
This is what
No.
Bihar police clarified.
No, you are trying to cover it.
So this is on that very day published, my lord, by the Bihar police. This is with regard to the news report of NEET UG exam published in the Sunday Express newspaper dated 23rd June. On its front page with the headline, Bihar police put.
So this press release is not an official press release?
No, that's what the Bihar police clarifies on their website. Kindly read it further, my lord.
Sir.
Paper leak in the Ramesh had appears for Bihar. He handed this over to me just now, my lord. In the news item, the undersigned has been wrongly quoted and the name has been mentioned at least 3 times in the news item by the correspondent so and so. Whereas the matter of fact is that no such brief had been given by the undersigned to him in this regard, and neither the concerned correspondent ever contacted me before attributing the quote to the undersigned. No official press release or statement in this matter had been issued. This irresponsible act of correspondent is against
A second. According to the petitioners, on 23 June 2024, a press release was issued by the Economic Offences Unit of the Bihar Police, setting out in regard to the paper leak which had taken place. On the other hand, from a communication dated 23 June 2024 addressed by the Additional DGP Economic Offences Unit, it has been stated that no official press release or statement
That's the act of cover up.
had been issued by the Bihar police. Full stop. Be that as it may, in this batch of petitions, one of the primary reliefs which has been sought is for a court-mandated retest of the entire process which took place, culminating in the examination which was conducted on 5 May 2024. Full stop. In support of the case, of their case, the petitioners have relied on two primary circumstances. First, it has been submitted that before that, you can just say the NEET UG 2024 examination consisted of multiple choice questions involving a total of 180 questions. Full stop. Each of the 180 questions carried 4 marks, making for a total of 720 marks for the examination. 45 marks each were allotted to the segments in physics,
Chemistry,
chemistry,
biology, botany and zoology.
Geology and
Botany and zoology.
physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. Full stop. The examination envisaged the award of negative marks, of one negative mark
Per wrong answer.
per wrong answer. Next. In support of the plea that the court should direct a re-examination, the petitioners have primarily relied on two circumstances.
ये उनके एंड से म्यूट है। पता नहीं उनके एंड से ये म्यूट है, बट हमारे एंड से कोई म्यूट नहीं है।
which would be, which were allotted to students in 2022, 2023, and 2024. The submission
For me, most important is the league has happened. That is a call.
The second, the above submission is sought to be highlighted from the following tabulated chart. वो भी डाल दीजिए इसमें, BP. The above chart indicates that students receiving a specific level of marks between 539 and 700 who had secured a particular rank in 2022 secured lower ranks in 2023 and a radically lower mark, a radically lower rank in 2024. No. Same marks, same level of marks, not same student. We'll stop next. In considering whether, before that you did say, it is certain basic facts which are not in dispute need to be alluded to. We'll stop. About 24 lakh students registered for the NEET UG examination, which was to be conducted in the month of May 2024. We'll stop. About 23.33 lakh students, correct?
Yes, sir.
Appeared for the 23 lakhs 33,297 students. वो कौशल ये बताइए क्या फिगर क्या है? 23 lakhs 23,290 students, 297 students appeared for the examination. So the examination was conducted at 4750 centers
जो जजमेंट लिखवा रहे हैं
comprised within 571 cities. Full stop. The examination was also held in 14 cities overseas. Full stop. The total number of seats, medical seats for undergraduate, one second, I've made a note. For undergraduate studies is 1.08 lakhs, of which approximately 56,000 are seats in government hospitals. Full stop. The investigation Prima facie, tentatively, at the present stage, the court has been apprised of the fact that don't say tentatively, the court has been apprised of the fact that first information reports were registered in Patna, Delhi, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, and Maharashtra. Correct? Full stop. Whether the FIRs in relation to the paper leak is only confined to Patna, yes, or otherwise, is a matter which would have to be reserved for a more detailed elaboration, detailed consideration. Full stop. The above narration indicates that the examination was conducted over a wide spectrum comprising of nearly 23 lakh students spread over 4,750 centers in India. Full stop. Before the court can be, full stop. The law on whether a retest should be ordered in a situation such as the present is based on fairly settled parameters. Full stop. The court would have to scrutinize on the basis of the data which has emerged on the record whether, bracket 1, a breach in the sanctity of the examination has taken place, whether, bracket 1, the alleged breach has taken place at a systemic level or at a systemic level, semicolon, bracket 2, whether the breach is of a nature which has affected the integrity of the entire examinations process. And 3, whether it is possible to segregate the beneficiaries of the fraud from the untainted students. Full stop. In a situation where the breach in the sanctity of an examination affects the entirety of the process, and it is not possible to segregate those who are the beneficiaries of wrongdoing from others, it may be necessary to order a re-examination. On the other contrary wise, where the breach is confined to specific areas or centers, and it is possible to identify those who are beneficiaries of wrongdoing, it may not be appropriate to order a retest, particularly in an examination which has been conducted on such a massive scale, involving over 23 lakh students. Involving such a large body of students who would have appeared, who have studied for the examination, undertaken costs and expenses, and would have to undergo the rigors of a fresh examination if it were to be ordered by the court. Next. While flagging these issues, while flagging the above issues, we are of the view that a view on the merits would have to be deferred until further facts are placed on the record before this court. Full stop. For that purpose, we intend to direct the National Testing Agency to make a full disclosure before the court. Full stop. The disclosure which we are intending to require can broadly be classified into three aspects. The first aspect pertains to the nature of the leak, the places where the leak took place, and the lag of time between the occurrence of the leak and the conduct of the examination. From this perspective, NTH is directed to clarify on the basis of the material which is in its possession as of date on the following issues. Bracket 1. When the leak of the question papers has first taken place. 2. The manner in which the question papers were leaked were disseminated. Semicolon, bracket 3. The duration between the time duration between the occurrence of the leak and the actual conduct of the examination, which took place at 2 p.m., between 2 p.m. and 5:20 p.m. on 5 May 2024. The second, while making the full stop, on the above aspect, we are also of the view that since the investigation has been entrusted to the CBI, a status report should be filed by the investigating officer before this court, indicating the status of indicating
partner. For me, that's a core.
The status of the investigation up to date and the material which has come to light during the course of the investigation. One may when the leak was first noticed, Carlo. The investigating officer shall, in particular, indicate to this court, shall place before this court material which has been gathered during the course of the investigation, which would have a bearing on when the leak is alleged to have first taken place, and the modalities in which the leaked question papers were made available.
अब टेंशन मतलब मैं इसका समरी बकायदा बना रहा हूँ, ठीक है?
The second perspective, the second aspect on which we NTA shall make a disclosure to this court is in regard to the steps which have been taken so far for identification of the beneficiaries of the leak. In this regard, the court should be apprised inter alia of the following. Bracket 1. How many students, what were the steps which were taken by NTA to identify the centers stroke cities at which the leak took place. 2, the modalities followed for identifying the beneficiaries of the leak. And 3, the number of students who have so far been identified to be the beneficiaries of the leaked question papers. Likewise, the investigating officers
May say, he has stroke authority because identification may not be within our.
all right. The above information, I'll clarify while editing, I'll put it so that, yeah.
Not,
It will be more the Ministry of Home Affairs or some other one.
Not the leak will be at one place, and how many centers the leak paper has been made available, because the leak will be in the entire
That's okay.
system at one place.
No, we have said the dissemination also. We have said.
Perfect. Yes, sir.
The investigating officer shall also submit a status report bearing on the above aspects.
yes,
One point.
Third aspect on which it is necessary to have a further disclosure by the union government as well as by NTA. We'll say union government and NTA is whether it is possible by the union government and NTA is whether to be is on whether
technically feasible.
whether it would be feasible using data analytics either within the cyber forensic unit or any other expert agencies within or which may be employed by the government to identify cases where suspect cases will stop. For instance, these cases may involve full stop. This may be if this is possible, the authorities shall identify before the court the modalities which can be followed so as to segregate the tainted from the untainted students. Next, the third aspect on which we would require a disclosure is in regard to the modalities to be followed between the conclusion of the examination, including the retest which was held for 1563 students, and the actual commencement of the counseling process. Full stop. If an exercise is to be conducted by the NTA and by the union government so as to deduce any further beneficiaries of the question paper leakage, a considered decision at the policy level would have to be taken by the government on whether counseling should be allowed to proceed in the meantime or otherwise.
May not say that.
On the status of the counseling. Fourthly, the court is concerned about the steps which should be taken hereafter to ensure the sanctity of the national eligibility entrance test, so that such instances which have transpired during the course of the present session are not repeated in the future. In this regard, just 1 second, please. In this regard, it would be necessary for the government to consider setting up a multidisciplinary team consisting of renowned experts who command the wider confidence of the community to ensure that due measures are being taken to obviate any further breaches in the NEET in the future. Full stop. If a committee has already been set up by the government for deducing the steps to be taken for the future. Full details shall be made available to the court. First off, the court may then consider whether the committee which has been constituted by the government should be allowed to proceed as it is, or whether the composition of the committee should be
Modified. Enhanced.
It is already
should be
considered.
sufficiently enhanced to
That
bring
may not be there.
so as to bring together a pool of talent from diverse fields, bearing not only on administration, but also on domain expertise and data analytics. So,
Lords, I have only one sanction.
Learned Solicitor General and Mr. Kaushik, Learned Senior Counsel appearing, Solicitor General appearing for the Union of India, and Mr. Kaushik, Learned Senior Counsel appearing for the NTA, have requested the court to place the further hearing on Thursday ka date dal dijiye, so as to enable them to make their to file the material in pursuance of the above queries by 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Full stop. The affidavit, the affidavit shall be shared with counsel appearing on behalf of the petitioners simultaneously. The report of the investigating officer of the CBI shall also be placed on the record in the meantime.
May I only be permitted to say one
So,
aspect?
I'll tell you why. Let there be, the reason why we are asking for this disclosure, whatever view we ultimately take, let there be confidence in the community that,
Absolutely.
that
We not very.
Lords, I have only one
So
subject.
where your lordship's views?
Applications are allowed by.
The entire. Lords, can I make one?
In view of the large number of counsel who are appearing on the side of the petitioners, we have requested that it has been agreed who will be the nodal counsel. Huh?
Mr. Suvit Sharma, my lord, Mr.
Independently sometime.
All right. Shall act as nodal counsel. All the counsel for the petitioners who are desirous of placing their submission for a retest shall file a common set of submissions not exceeding 10 pages by before the hearing takes place on Thursday ka date.
My lords, kindly allow the improvement application, my lord.
The petitioner on this side, my lord, can it be also be
Time of loss, my lord.
on the petitioner on this side? So there's a fact that you are.
By and large, you are being supported by these.
I appreciate, but I also want to get out the fact that happened in all cases where they
Why
were.
don't you do this? Give us a short one-page note. That will be more.
Very well.
Because whenever your lordships have said petitioners, there are transfer petitions where we are essentially respondents.
Taken for 2 days in April. So the people.
And this is beyond the leak, my lord. Beyond the leak also.
Yes, my lord, there is also a
So
situation.
they have changed the answer also.
20.
Well, they have changed the answer on one question and allotted the number, my lord.
Yes, my lord, in fact, it's happened in my case also, wherein there are 3 answers.
Analyze these dates. Who are the people who.
When it's
How much mark?
Mr. Solicitor, we have not specifically in our order included the red flags. You can just
have understood.
right. I deliberately didn't put it into our order, but you can just see whether there are some cases like that which you can identify. See, so that then
Sir, we have filed.
I'd like to please.
We have been served. Perhaps they are not given copies. The other ones who are intervening or etc.
But what we would suggest is what you give us on Thursday. And one more thing, what you give us on Thursday, make it comprehensive so that we don't have to wait through your counters and everything. We just look at that basically.
As may I make one small request. Some of us are
We've now chalked out our roadmap.
Lord, our
If we can, using whatever technology, common sense, and our understanding of the law, identify the wrongdoing students. We then don't have to ask 23 lakh students to again appear for the exam. If we have no other go, of course we are there too.
let's file that one page.
Kindly allow the implement application.
For us to file that one page, our diary number to be
Which
recorded.
is that matter, NEET matter.
Lord,
my lords,
Yes, Lord,
All right, yes, yes, there are three other matters which we have to take, sorry.
my lord,
May I just request the lordship
diary number may be noted, so
My lord,
file the page, diary number may be noted.
All right, any other fresh matters on NEET which were not on board?
Yes, Lord.
After we rise, you can give the matters numbers to the court master, he'll bring them on board.
My lords kindly allow the pleadment of.
One more thing, Mr. Solicitor, has everybody served their petitions on the council? Served on-
But we have not
All right.
received no replies, my lords.
All right, once again, the council appearing for all the petitioners, council appearing for all the petitioners, stroke interveners, shall serve copies. On whom should we say?
Central, MK Maroria.
On Sri M.K. Maruria, and Mr.
Vardhaman Kaushik.
And Mr. Vardhaman Kaushik, council appearing, council instructing the Solicitor General and Mr. Kaushik, R.C. Kaushik respectively.
Okay.
The two council appearing on behalf of the two council, Mr. Maroria and Mr. The Union of India and the NTA shall prepare a tabulated statement indicating for each petition, tabulated statement grouping the petitions into distinct categories so as to facilitate disposal. So what you can do is those which are asking for a retest, you can put in one category. Then individual grievances, then we'll see whether those grievances can be entertained, whether we ask you to look into it, what to do. But we'll have one tabulated chart on petitions.
Make it easier.
May I just request one indulgence?
That's why we said, therefore you serve a copy on the solicitors.
Well, they have sent answer also. So can you see, they have sent answer of the one question and then given the more marks to the 13,000 students.
Medical
The
accommodation.
problem for my lord, ranking is concerned.
But look, this is nothing. Therefore, those petitions we may have to dealing. They are individual petitions. Those are individual petitions where you say you have a medical condition, you should have been given extra time. We'll deal with it separately. It does not deal with the sanctity of the examination. That's the individual student's petition.
This order should not be deemed to be as restricting only to the case of leak. Because between the,
Not at all.
No,
In fact, that's why we have finally said this.
so for the reason, my lords, on the 8th, while the exam was announced for the 5th, my lords, of May, on the 8th of April, overnight, my lords, they brought about a notification that there will be a window open for students who could not register for the exam way back on 16th of March. Now, this window that they opened, my lords, is absolutely difficult to understand.
So more students registered.
And I
25,000 and
no,
That began now.
students were how
My lords, I am carrying an item. Request for 1 second of indulgence. My lords,
Look,
there are
more students registering, etc. How can we
No, my lords, with the utmost respect, because the initial advertisement.
hear you? We'll hear you on that. We'll hear you on that.
the entire result, the entire comprehensive result should be put on the website. Right now, what's happening is individual results only are put up. So somebody has to go. So we can't.
Mr. Kaushik, the entire result, except for those which you have, we will say that these results shall not give rise to any equities or legal rights. But you must at least now upload the result.
Yes, the entire results. The result comprehensive. The data science can work here.
1 second.
The revised result of 1563 and the rest of the persons, all has been uploaded on 30th. No.
Individually.
But do you have
They have
uploaded?
So that is why we can't use data science. That's the problem. If they are deliberately keeping
under wraps.
एनडीए खुद ही कंफ्यूज हो गया है
This would, your lordships may take a call on that on Thursday. But there is something,
एनडीए कह रहा है कि थर्सडे को बात करेंगे आज।
We'll apply our mind carefully on
please,
that.
man, kindly, my lord.
My lords, the NPA has also moved certain transfers. My lords, the NPA is
Maybe the track record of the powers that you also looked at.
All right.
42.6.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second, 35. Permission, the reason we kept your matter today was, now, we knew that we can't take it up today, but what is the scope now, this All India judges?
That's
35.
your lordship.
My IA alone has been.
Only his eye is there.
So what's happened, Manoj, your lordships have put it up for compliance today. Your lordships, orders for the past 2 years have not been compliant with. At least 8 or 9 states have not released pension and allowance arrears, even though your lordships on multiple.
सो फाइनली तो आपका जो जजमेंट है ना वो आपका हो चुका है
Pension. How long will be officials that are compiled and everything? I will take about 2-3 hours to explain the consequences of.
तो आप लोग का बच्चों यहाँ पे हो चुका है जो भी करना था उनको उन्होंने ऑर्डर अपना पास कर दिया है मैं एकदम शॉर्ट में आपको समरी बता देता हूँ इसका मैं एक डिटेल वीडियो भी डाल दूंगा छोटा सा समरी वीडियो क्या हुआ है पूरा मैटर मैं आपको बता देता हूँ